All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
We Book It fam, of course. It is none other than your QB1, the world booking champion, current world booking champion, as well as your host tonight and CEO of the We Book It podcast. That's right. It's your boy, Mike Jones, a.k.a. Virgil, in the building with you guys in the flesh. Thank you all so much for tuning in on this wonderful Friday evening for what was an eventful SmackDown. Don't forget, this is your Smackdown Lowdown, Hold Down, Throw Down, No Down, Mow Down, Whoa Now. That's right. I'm standing in the gap for my man Fritos, who is off somewhere preparing to go walk the plank and get married to his beautiful bride. So he is taking a break from the podcast. However, me and Big Daddy C will kind of rotate and hold it down for Fritos until he is able to get back and do his show with all you beautiful people. But in Fritos' absence, let me go ahead and hit it up for you. Let me see if I can do it some justice. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my singles and tag team competitors. It's your boy Fritos back again. Well, Virgil and for Fritos. And we are here to talk about Friday Night SmackDown. Listen, let me tell you guys something. Solo Sikoa has so many men after that United States Championship. You would have thought he was 50 Cent. Many men. And on top of all the men that want that United States Championship, he now has who? Sami Zayn coming after him for that United States Championship, which I love the fact that Sami Zayn has left Raw, as officially a part of SmackDown, and will go ahead and go after him and that United States Championship, because he definitely doesn't need to be in the world title picture on Raw. So we have a show opening promo and confrontation that led to a 6-man tag team match on SmackDown in the main event, with Zayn teaming with Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso against Solo Sikoa, Tonga Loa, and JC Mateo. So that is going to be your main event for the evening, but we got to back it up, because there's a lot more that happened as the show began. Of course, after a few shots of the arena and superstars arriving, we went to the ring for Solo Sikoa and the MFTs doing their entrance. I want it all. I want it. Okay, sorry, that's about as much as I got. But yeah, he talks some trash about running the blue brand before out comes let's go, and out comes Sami Zayn. Once Solo got his friends to leave the ring so Zayn felt comfortable, Zayn thanked him for ruining his chances of challenging for the world title because it has freed him up to focus on other goals, like the United States Championship. Zayn announced that he is officially a SmackDown superstar. Sikoa and his crew attacked him, and Jimmy Uso came out to help. And then Jacob Fatu came out after that to even the odds. The portion of Sikoa's promo before Zayn showed up sounded like it was written by ChatGPT, which is hilarious. Pretty generic stuff there, which I really think WWE has to just let Solo Sikoa be Solo. Like I said, I mean, he has the personality and the style to be able to do this himself. But I obviously, after Jacob Fatu came out and even the odds, the MFTs left the ring, and as they were heading up the ramp, Nick Aldis came out and booked a 6-man tag match for the main event tonight. Again, like I said, we saw this coming a mile away, so we already knew what was coming up. Next up, we have Alexa Bliss versus Piper Niven. Charlotte Flair accompanied Alexa to the ring for their match against Piper, who had Alba Fire and Chelsea Green in her corner. The size difference between these two, I mean, this was definitely a David versus Goliath type of match. Niven took control with ease and looked like she might go after Alexa's Lily doll, but Bliss jumped on her with a sleeper hold. Again, this match was slow, methodical, with Bliss basically taking a bunch of bumps to begin the match, but then making a comeback after they returned from break. Flair and Bliss fought off Fire and Green before Bliss rolled up Niven for the win. Then Fire came in and super kicked Alexa as she was celebrating, and the Queen tried to help, but the numbers game was too much for both of them. So yeah, even though Piper Niven lost the match, they do still look like they are going to probably be the next challengers for those women's tag team titles. Again, like I said, it was all right. Next up, we have the Miz and Mello versus Fraxium. So Miz and Mello have reunited. Like I said, we saw that happen backstage last week. And this week they took on Axiom and Nathan Frazier to get back into the tag team division. So the A-lister insisted on starting the match with his team against Axiom, but he noticed Joe Gacy standing in the crowd, and then he hesitated. After their initial lockup, Dexter Lumis showed up. The crowd was chanting for Mello when the Miz tagged him to avoid having to face the speed of Frazier. And then the former NXT tag champs were building up a lot of momentum as the show then went to break, and then we returned to see Mello in control, but it didn't last long. And then the Miz and Frazier both tagged in, and the High Flyers started using the incredible speed to dish out some more offense. Mello and the Miz are both good at what they do, but Fraxium has been one of the most reliable acts since arriving on the main roster, and you knew that they were not going to lose this match. But then again, like I said, it comes out of nowhere. Mello had the match won, but the A-lister tagged himself in and hits the finisher to get the win. Hayes looked disappointed, but Miz was elated. So Miz, clearly the story here they're trying to tell is Miz riding the coattails of Mello right now. They're beginning to work on building up Carmelo Hayes, who did want to go ask for a United States Championship match against Solo Sikoa. Obviously, they're going to look to turn Hayes into a babyface here in the future, but he is going to have to go through Miz, and these two are going to have to fight, which I'm not upset about. It gives Miz something to do. Miz obviously is still a part of the WWE roster, and he is somebody that Mello can use as a stepping stone. So we'll have to see about that. Next up, we got the DIY versus the Street Profits. A lot of tag team action here tonight on SmackDown. So McIntyre came to the ring after the break to talk about why he attacked Cody Rhodes last week. The announcer said they didn't have an update on Cody Rhodes' condition. There wasn't much to the promo, and it ended without interruption. Obviously, Drew McIntyre is ready to fight for the WWE Championship, which it has officially dropped the undisputed mark. It will now just be known as the WWE Championship. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, that is what that is. But at the same time, I do think Drew McIntyre brings a lot to the heavyweight division. Obviously, he'll be a great opponent for Cody. I do not think he'll end up winning the championship, but again, he is a great first opponent for Cody after beating John Cena to win the title back. So, next match is Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins taking on their recent rivals Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. B-Fab and Candice LeRae were accompanying each team to the ring, which is great for B-Fab, for her to get some more ring time. Really still want to see her get some interaction with those women's world tag team championships too. But we'll have to see her and Michin have to get it together with that. But in this match, DIY took control of Ford with some double team attacks. Then after the break, the Profits began building up some momentum. Ford was single-handedly taking on both men while Dawkins recovered from an earlier attack. LeRae sent B-Fab into the steel steps to create a distraction that allowed DIY to make the comeback. She also hit a hurricanrana on Ford to send him off the apron while the ref was occupied elsewhere. Despite LeRae's interference, Ford and Dawkins managed to get the win. This was another great match in the feud and another example of why SmackDown has the best tag team division in all of wrestling. Again, like I was telling the guys, I think that SmackDown has one of the best tag team divisions. It literally does not know like you don't know per week who versus who is going to be viable for those WWE Tag Team Championships. Another thing to note, we had Kiana James shown trying to get Tiffany Stratton to hire her and Julia for backup. Like I said, and that right there is just one of those things that you have to look at and notice that it is a part of what they are doing right now with Tiffany Stratton. She kind of seems in limbo right now, doesn't really have a dance partner. They're looking to probably end up recycling her stuff with looking to recycle her feud with Nia Jax, which sucks because there are better opponents out there for Tiffany Stratton that could give Tiffany a better match. I do not like this Tiffany run as WWE Women's Champion. You move Bayley over to Raw. You got Becky Lynch on Raw. You know, you got Stephanie Vaquer, going after the Women's World Championship. You got, old girl from Damage Control, Insane Kairi Sane going up against, I'm sorry, no, not Kairi Sane, Io Sky going up against Rhea Ripley. You could stand to move some of that talent over to SmackDown because the Raw women's division is very, very crowded right now. SmackDown needs some women over here to fight Tiffany Stratton. And I understand you might want to save Tiffany versus Rhea Ripley as a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam feud, but bring Io Shirai over for this back to SmackDown or something like that. You gotta put somebody else over there on SmackDown or create a heel over there on SmackDown that's a viable heel for that WWE Women's Championship. Because right now the Raw Women's World Championship means so much more than the WWE Championship, and that's unfortunate. Another spot here was R-Truth. He was being interviewed backstage by Byron Saxton, and he was back to being his old dopey self until Aleister Black shows up. And like I said, it's known then that they have that they will have a match next week. But then we go to the main event, and the main event was a 6-man tag match that was booked in the opening segment. Before they went to the ring, Fatu made it clear he's the only helping out Jimmy and didn't really care about Sami Zayn. Tala Tonga was the odd man out, so it was Sikoa, Tonga Loa, and JC Mateo. Jimmy and JC started the match with a quick exchange that led to Zayn tagging in for a double team spot. Mateo had no problem picking him up and planting him in the corner so his team could work him over. Zayn spent a long time in the ring being isolated. Obviously, he's the next challenger for the United States Championship, so they're going to go ahead and work with him and move him around. Sikoa was able to take him down and hit a splash, but it wasn't enough to get the win. Zayn came in and was able to secure the win with an exploder suplex and a haluva kick to Sikoa. Then after the match, you see Zayn dancing with gosh darn. Zayn is officially on SmackDown, and he's dancing with Jimmy Uso and Jacob Fatu. So, yeah, man, that is what happened on SmackDown. Make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe to the pod. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in and for watching. Until next time, make sure you keep those book and pencils sharp and keep on.